Hello everyone. Today I'll be explaining this Leetcode problem, which says merge two 2D arrays by summing the values. So this is an easy problem on Leetcode. So I am explaining the problem. You will be given a 2D integer array nums1 and nums2. Basically, nums1 of I is a vector. The first element is id and the second element is the value. This indicate, and that's all. This it says that id is idi has a value equal to value. This is the id and this is the value. And same for num2. This is the id, this is the value. Now each array contains unique IDs. That means all the elements, that is all the vectors, are uniques, and it is sorted in ascending order. The first one is smaller, the second one is larger. Merge the two arrays into one array, and that is sorted in ascending order by ID respecting the following conditions. So you have to merge these two arrays based on the IDs in ascending order. Only IDs that appear in at least the conditions are only IDs that appear in at least one of the two arrays should be included in the resulting array, and that means that if one element appears at least one of the arrays, then you have to include that in the answer. Each ID should be included only once. Suppose one ID is in nums1 and one same ID is in nums2. So in the result array you have to include only one. Each ID should be included only once. This basically says that, and its values should be the sum of the values. Suppose here 1, 2 is there. I have to draw something. And this value, look, this is 1, 2 here in nums1, and in nums2 this is 1, 4. So 1, 1 the ID is same, but the values will look 2 and 4. So in the result array, what you have to do, sum of the values of this ID in the two arrays. Okay, so you have to store 2 plus 4 equal to 6, like here. You can see here it is 1, 6. One is the ID and 2 plus 4 equal to 6. Next says if the ID does not exist in one of the two arrays, then assume its value in that array to be 0. If you look here, in nums1 there is 2, 3, but in nums2 there is nothing like 2, 3, no ID like 2. So this is here, the ID 2 is here, but here is not the ID 2. So you have to assume that here the ID 2 has the value of 0. This line, the meaning of this line is this 2, 0. So in the answer, what will you put? ID 2 and the value is 3 plus 0 equal to 3. It is 2, 3. This one. Next 3, 2. Here 3, 2, because 3, 2 is not here. So you have to assume that here the 3 has the value 0. So 3, 0 plus 2 equal to 2. This one. Next 4, 6. 4. Here the 4 ID and here is the 4 ID. And the sum of the values are 5 plus 1 equal to 6. This is the answer. So by this you have to do the answer. Let me erase this first. Erase. Oh, what? Everything erased, I think. Okay. Erase. Actually, I am using it for the first time. That's why it is happening. Sorry. Okay. So, how do we solve this problem? Like the brute force approach is this. First, you have to traverse the nums1, the first array, this one. Traverse and store the IDs with their values in map. If I show you visually, so you will understand that. Wait, here. Let me minimize this, and I have to draw the map, the line. This is a map. I have to write something here. Okay, so these are the IDs and these will be the corresponding values, and this is the map. This will be an unordered map, C++ unordered map hash table. So traverse through the nums1. Where is the nums1? This one, and store the IDs with their values in map, like 1 having ID 2, one ID having the value 2. So 1 have the value 2. Next 2 have value 3 and 4 have value 5. 2 have value 3 and 4 have value 5. Okay, first 2 steps are done. Then traverse through nums2. This is the nums2. If the current ID is in the map, then update the value of it, like nums2 1,4. 1,4 is the one ID is here. Yes, it is here. So 1,4, then update the value. How do we update the value? 2 plus 4. 2 plus 4, which is equal to 6. Next is 3,2. Is 3,2 here? Is 3,2 here? Wait, I should use different color. Is 3,2? What's 3,2? Is 3,2 here? No, 3,2 is not here. That means 3,2 was not in the nums1. So I have to consider that in the nums1 3,2 had the value 0. 3 has the value 0. So you have to insert this 3,2. You have to consider that 3 has the value 0. Wait, let me see the okay. The 3,2, what will be the value of 3,2? No, here 3,2 will be inserted as it is, 3,2. Next 3,2 is done. Next 4,1. Is 4 ID there? Yes, 4 ID is here. So what do I have to do? Update this value by +1, which is equal to 6. Next 4,1 is done. No, nothing is here anymore. So this is your array. This is your final map, and you have to sort this map. After sorting, what will be the value? The value will be what will be the 1,6 in the result. 1,6. Next 2,3. You have to sort the map, na? 2,3. Next 3,2. 3,2. Next 4,6. 4,6. Okay. So you can look at the answer: 1,6, 2,3, 3,2, 4,6. 3,2, 3,2, 4,6. Okay. So I think you have understood this, the brute force technique. So let's come to the time complexity part. Time complexity: if m is the size of nums1 array and n is the size of nums2 array, then the time complexity will be big O of m plus n, because you are traversing through nums1, then you are traversing through nums2, so it will take m plus n time, and you are storing in the map, and after that you are sorting the array. You are sorting the map. Sorry, you are sorting the array, which will take order of n log n, where n is the size of the map, right? N is the size of the map, this map. N is the size of this map. Okay. Next, return the map as a vector, because you have to return the vector. So time complexity is pretty high, and space complexity big of m plus n, because you are using a map. And here, if all the values are unique in nums1 and nums2, you have to store all the values. So m plus n will be the space complexity. Now let's come to the optimal approach. So what would be the optimal approach? The optimal approach means that you have to give the answer without using sorting. So how do we do that? You remember this pseudocode of merge sort? It is simply like that. Only merge sort. Let's understand it by the code itself. Okay. So the code is here. I have included the code. It is similar to merge sort, same to same. Just you have to change some things, and rest of the things will be like the merge sort. So here this is the nums1 and this is the nums2. So what this code says is, I first explain that, then I will show you the code. Okay. Okay, let's do this. I have to minimize it more. No. Okay. So this is the 0th index, this is the 1 index, this is the 2 index, this is the 0th first and second. So initialize a pointer I. Initialize a pointer I that points here, and initialize a pointer j that points here. Okay. Same like merge sort. If this id and I the vector that I points to and the vector that j points to, if the values of both are same, then update the answer, and insert the id with the value of their sum. What I'm trying to say is, if the values are same, right? Like I'm typing this. If this is so small, to zoom. I think to zoom. Okay. If the values are same, then what do we have to do? If the values are same, then in the answer push back the id. The id is same, basically id and the value 1 plus value 2, right? Okay. The value 1 plus value 2. So 2 plus 4 will be 6. So 1,6 will be the in the answer. So this was in the answer. This was my answer in the answer. Like this one is 1,6. So this one I have got, this one. And the next update the I pointer and j pointer as well. If I update the I pointer and j pointer, so how will it look? Like I will point to this vector and j will point to this vector. Now you can see that I's id is 2 and j's id is 3. So this the ith id is less, so and they are not equal, and then I is less. so I have to insert this 2 comma 3 in my answer. Okay, like if id 1 which and if ith id is less, then you have to insert this in the answer, because because it is not in the next array, in the second array. So you have to consider that in the next array this id is present with value 0, because in the question it said that because if it is not in the second array, then you have to consider the value of this id is 0. So you have to insert this as it is 2 comma 3, insert in the answer. So next one will be 2 comma 3 in my answer. So this one I have inserted, so I will update my I, same like merge sort. I will update my I and I will be pointing to this. Now which one is less? J is less, and 3 comma 2 is not here, is not in this array. So I will insert this. I will insert this 3 comma 2 in my answer and update my j pointer. Let me update the j pointer. J will point to this and I is pointing to this. So I and j are now same. I and j are now same. So I have to insert this 4 comma 4 with their values sum, like 5 plus 1 equal to 6. So I have to insert 4 comma 6, like 4 comma 5 plus 1, which simply means 4 comma 6. I have to insert this value in my answer, right? This one, if the values are same, push back id comma value 1 plus value 2. This is value 1, this is value 2. Okay, so this was the explanation, and here is the code. Let me explain the code. Just wait a little bit. Okay, so here I have initialized I with 0 value and j is 0 value. I and j is pointing starting of the nums1 and nums2 respectively. So while I is less than nums1 dot size and j is less than nums2 dot size, if nums1 I is 0, why here is 0? Because the first value of the first array, first I is 0, to 0 0, that means first array of the nums1 and the first value of the first array is the id. So if the id of the first array is less than id of the second array, then answer dot pushback nums1 I. This is the first array. This is the first array of the first nums1. So you have to insert the thing as it is. This is the case 1. This is the case 1, right? There will be total three cases. The first case can be that the first the id, right, like this one. The first id can be less than this id, like here it is same, but in other cases it can be that this id less than this id. So here you can see nums1 I of 0 and nums2 j of 0. This one is less, so I have to insert this as it is. And next update I plus plus. Next else if the second case. This one first case and this one is the second case. So in the second case, if the id is greater than, that means if the second array's id is less than the first one's id, then insert the less id. If here it is nums2 of j is less than, so you have to insert in the answer the nums2. So next in the third case, if both the ids are same, in the third case if both the ids are same, then push back the id, one of the id, because they are both same. So you have to nums1 I of 0, or you can use nums2 j of 0, and insert the value associated with the ids. Like here it was 1 comma 2 and here it was 1 comma 4. So you have to use one, this one or this one, and 2 plus 4 equal to 6. Insert this. Okay, insert, and after that I will again check if I is my nums1 still nums1 dot size, because here you can see that the condition is an AND operation here. So if any one of them is false, then this will break the loop. So suppose suppose your j has become greater than size, that means the second list has over, but the first list is um, already there. So you have to include all the remaining elements of the first array to the answer. So for that purpose I have used this while loop again. If the I is uh, small, then if I has not reached the size of the nums1, that is the nums1 is not finished yet, then again push back all the remaining elements of the first array to your answer, and then I plus plus. Same for second array. If the second array is not over but the first array is over, then you have to push all the remaining elements of the second array to the answer. So this one, for this purpose I have written this piece of code, and at the end you have to return the answer. You don't need to sort, because it is the lists were sorted, and you are pushing back all the arrays in the answer with the help of merge sort algorithm, and so they again will be sorted. So you do not have to sort it again. So what will be the time complexity here? Like here you are traversing the nums1 and nums2. So if if the lists have unique elements, that is no common elements between them, then what will be the time complexity? The time complexity will be big O of m plus n, which is linear. And the space complexity, what will be the space complexity? Are we using any vector? Like we are using the answer, but we are using here the answer, but it is for storing the output, storing the answer. So this will not be considered as space complexity. So the space complexity will be big O of 1 here. So this one is the code. So I think you have understood the code. That was the code. So keep studying. Thank you.